Hi friends, welcome to Fresh Library YouTube channel. Today in this class we are going to learn about what is the difference between Windows and Linux operating system, types of OS, what is server, what is client, and also what is port and what is protocol. The detailed description about, detailed notes about uh, protocol and ports. Okay. Before proceeding into today's session, let's have an overview of what we have discussed in the last class. So in the last class, we have discussed about uh, Unix and Linux operating system. Okay, what is an OS? OS is an interface between user and computer hardware. Okay, it is a translator between user and computer hardware, and we can install the package the softwares in the operating system. Okay, so the language which supports the for the system is binary means two digits. Two is either 0 or 1, and it is also the OS also translates or converts high level language into low level language into high level language, vice versa. Okay, because human language doesn't understand by the system, and systems language we can't understand. That's why it is easy to translate between those system language, high level language into low level language into high level. Okay, and we had also discussed about MS DOS is an command line interface. A Microsoft MS DOS means Microsoft, okay, disk operating system, and it's an free operating system, uh, and also it will not support multi-user uh, operator. Okay, so it will not support multi-user operations. Okay, that's why Windows released another version of this Microsoft, so that is MS Win. It also comes with GUI means graphical user interface, but it's not an free operating system. We need to purchase the license, and we need to register to use it. Okay, and it is completely GUI. MS, that is CLI, and MS Win is GUI. So for CLI we need to give the commands to working with the operating system. For GUI we no need to give the commands. We can directly interact with the operating system. And uh, next we discussed about Unix. Unix is a command line interface. It was introduced by Bell Laboratory in 1969, but it was available to public from 1980. And IBM was also developed one more operating system, that is AIX. AIX was developed by IBM, but the drawback of that AIX operating system is, uh, if you want to use that AIX Unix operating system, then we need to purchase IBM computer or IBM laptop or IBM system only. If you want to use the same kind of OS in Lenovo or Dell or HP, it won't support. Not only Dell, HP, Lenovo, it won't support any other companies laptops or systems. Okay, next. So that's why, and Linux Torvalds was developed one OS called Linux in 1990, and it was available to public from 1991. Why he has developed that Linux operating system is because the previous operating systems are not free. You first Previously Unix has provided free services, but later it was changed to Unix OS 2 licensed version. So that's why he has developed one open source operating system called Linux. Okay, and it is free of cost. It is open source. We can edit the source code and we can also change according to our requirement. Okay, we have discussed till here we have discussed in the last class. Now we are going to discuss about the difference between Windows operating system and Linux operating system. Give me a minute. Difference between difference between Windows and Linux operating system. Operating systems. Okay. I will open a Word document to understand this, to write down the points regards to difference between the Windows and Linux operating system. Okay, so I'm taking one table. Enlarge is this is the serial number. This is one is Windows operating system. Or else Windows OS. This one is Linux OS. Okay, so here first point. So first of all, MS, I mean Microsoft developed one. First of all, it is developed CLI only. Later, it was developed GUI interface. That was that name is MS Win GUI. MS Win. Wait a second, right? So it is an GUI operating system. GUI, graphical user interface, and the Linux was introduced both CLI and GUI operating system. Okay, CLI command line interface and CLI and GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, as we know, it was developed in 1990 and available to public from 1991, and it is an open source. It is an closed source. It is an open source that it MS Win is closed source. That means we can't see and edit the source code. Here we can see the source code and I mean, what is source code? Source code is nothing but the code behind the development of this application or OS. The code behind the development of this application or OS. Okay, like that. Let's open one website. I will show you. It look like I'm not showing the exact thing, but it's look like that. Okay, now I'm opening Amazon. Okay, so here it is a user interface. Users can easily interact with this um, application, and they can book an order and book or cancel or book an appointment. Everything whatever they want they can do. Okay, but the code behind this, there is a code behind this application like this. Okay, so here this is the code behind this application. So to develop this part, they had written this kind of code. Okay, and to roll up this part, they have written this code. Okay, and so as we discussed in the earlier, so in Linux the source code will be like this only. We can see, and we can able to copy, we can edit. Okay, whatever we want we can do, but for Windows operating system we can't do like that. Okay, if we change the code, then the items here also changed. Okay, and we can save the code, change the code, and we can release the new code also. Okay, uh, so like that. I think you can understand what is source code, what is open source, and what is source code. Okay, so open source means we can edit the source code and we release it according to our requirement. Okay, next thing, Windows also developed one more OS, that is in 2008, Win 2008. Sorry, Win 2008. So name was R2 core of, and it is an CLI. CLI means command line interface. Okay, and here it is developed TUI. What is TUI? I will tell. Text user interface. Text user interface. So user will interface with the OS by using text. Okay. Okay. Next, it was developed one server. Okay, that name is 2s, and that server is come with 30% of GA, not completely into CLI, not completely into GA. 30% of GA was developed. Okay, I can write the line here only. Web server, yes, developed with 30% of GUI, graphical user interface. Okay, and the extensions of the applications made for Windows OS is extension of these applications for made for Windows OS are .exe. .exe. For suppose it was developed one application like KM player. Okay, is to play videos. Okay, for this the application name is KM player, but the application extension will be exe executable file. Exe means executable file. And if the extension for the applications which was developed for only Linux OS is .rpm. For suppose here he has developed one more application for watching the videos, so that name is VLC, and the extension is, just for example only I had taken KM player and VLC. Okay, that doesn't mean that VLC is made for only Linux sphere and KM player is only for Windows OS. Okay, .rpm. What is RPM? Revolution per minute? No. Red Hat package management. Red Hat package management. Red Hat package management. Okay. So and one more thing is why we are came for Linux OS is Linux has the main feature is security. Okay, doesn't need any antiviruses to um, use the OS. Okay, there is no manufacturing, there is no viruses. Of course, I am not telling that Linux is 100% secure, but 90% it is secure. Only 10% only. But Windows is very uh, hackable. Okay, hackers easy to hack the Windows OS. That's why all the hackers and all the most of the developers will use Linux OS for security purposes. Okay, because let's see our real-time example. If you want to use in your laptop, uh, so at that time, what you will choose either Windows or Linux. You will choose only Windows only. Most of the people will choose Windows only. Why? Because Windows is a graphical user interface. That means that we don't no need to provide any commands to interact with the application. So here I want to refresh the desktop. So here I am selecting refresh option by using keyboard and mouse actions only, right? Keyboard and mouse actions only. But if you want to do the same kind of operation in Linux, you have to give the commands. Okay, you have to give the commands. Then only, and you have to know about what is the command we have to use for refreshing the desktop. Okay, so then only you can refresh. Okay, whatever you are going to perform, then you must and should you have to know about commands only. Then only you can easily interact with the Linux OS. So here I am going to create one new folder. So for this also I can use only keyboard and mouse actions only. Of course, for writing the commands also we can use mouse and keyboard only, but we need to give the commands. Here we are not giving any commands. For in Linux, we have to give the commands. I hope you can understand this one. Okay. Next here, and if you want to use any antivirus, it may be it applies some charges. Okay, like 1500 to 2000, or it may be a 10,000. Okay, depends upon the type of antivirus, Kaspersky, or any other things. Okay, like so here I am going to write. If you want an antivirus virus, if you want an antivirus, then charges may apply. just for understanding only, just for remembering the key points, I'm writing the notes. Okay, here it is a free. Of course, if you want, if any application takes some charges, it may be a minimal only. Okay, for suppose example, here I'm writing, uh, example, if it charges 1500, $1,500, but these charges only $30 or $40. Okay, $30 or $40. Next, and the one more thing to use these operating systems are Windows support gives the support to the users. Okay, if the application may crash, if the application is running slow, or if the application is not working as expected, then they will we can take the, I mean, Windows users will take the support from the developers. Okay, but charges may apply here also, charges may apply, but for Linux OS, it may be a minimum charges, and sometimes they will provide free also. Okay, they won't charge anything sometimes, but I'm not saying that Linux, all the distributions of Linux OS are free, but some of the Linux operating systems are free, and some of the Linux operating systems are costly. I mean, we need to pay, they may charge some amount. Okay, charges for support. Mm. It is for this, it's sometimes free, and sometimes minimal charges. Minimal charges only. Okay, and one more thing is, it is an closed source. This one is an open source. The closed source is an open source. We had already discussed about this point previous class, and in the starting of this class also. Closed source means we can't edit the source code. Here we can edit the source code. Okay, and it occupies more memory, more RAM to install. More RAM to install. It occupies less RAM. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, these are the some important difference between the Windows operating system and Linux operating system. So I want to show the which memory occupies less RAM. So here I'm going to close this one. Let's see. So generally lightweight Linux distributions like Ubuntu, Xubuntu, or even Alpine Linux, these are the some of the distributions of Linux operating system. So these uses very less memory. Okay, these occupies very less memory when compared to Windows OS. Okay, and okay, we have discussed about Windows and Linux. Then what about Mac? Mac is also an operating system, right? Then why we are not discussing about Mac? Because Mac is an as we know, it is a very costly thing. Okay, if you want to use Mac OS, then we need to purchase Mac Apple or Apple laptop only. So but for Windows and Linux we can use any other laptops like a Lenovo, Dell, HP, anything we can use. But for using Mac OS we need to purchase only a Apple laptop. In our remaining laptops will not support for Mac OS. Okay, can you see till now Mac users using any other laptops? No, they will buy Apple laptop only for using Mac OS. And officially uh, it won't allow you to use the Mac OS in other systems, but unofficially we can use Mac OS in other laptops also, but it is not effective. It won't work properly, and they will not provide support if you want any support for using Mac OS in other laptops, other company laptops. Okay. And one more interesting thing is that Mac OS is also developed by Linux OS only. Okay, that Mac OS was also developed by using Linux OS. So here I am taking. So Mac is developed from which operating system? So here the Mac operating system, now called Mac OS, is primarily based on Unix or Linux. Okay, like next operating system developed by Next. Okay, so it was developed by using Linux or Unix operating system only. Why it has Windows operating systems also, but why it has chosen Unix or Linux? Because of security. Okay, because of security. But Mac is developed from Unix only. Unix is very free, but which is developed from Unix, that is very costly. That is a funny thing, right? Okay, these are the difference between the Windows and Linux and Mac OSs. Okay, next we need to discuss about types of OS. Types of OS means operating system. Hence, how many types of OS we have? OS means not like that. I mean, asking in user point of view. I'm asking in user point of view. Okay, like a single user, single task, like that. So we have three types of OSs. Three types of OSs. Those are single user, single tasking, single user, multitasking, multi-user, multitasking. Single user means user must be single only, and he can do only single task only. He can't operate multitask at a time. Okay, that is not comes under single user single tasking. And second thing, single user multitasking. Single user means only user is one only, but he can do multiple tasks. Okay, for example, we can open Chrome, Firefox, Windows, like that at a time. Okay, just for understanding purpose only, I'm saying that a kind of example because we can easily understand if we take that kind of examples. Okay, and third one, multi-user multitasking. Multi-user multitasking. Multi-user means 2 to 3 users, or it maybe depends upon the type of scenario and
depends upon the situation. Okay, the sometimes it may be two, it may be three. Okay, so 2 to 3 users we can take 2 to 3. So 2 to 3 users can take they can use the system, and they will do different kinds of tasks at a time. They can perform multiple tasks at a time. That is comes under in multi-user multitasking. Let's come into some real-time example. If you are in home and you have any siblings like brother or sister, okay, two brothers are in your two brothers or two sisters. Okay, so let's consider you and your brother or you and your sister. Okay, you are using some this system for only study purposes, and you have some applications or softwares like Linux, and also some Chrome, some YouTube. Okay, you are using this kind of applications in your system, but your suddenly your sister came. Okay, sister or brother came, and he is seeing what you are doing, and he don't know much about system or computer knowledge, but he wants to use. Okay, at the time what he will do is he will use whatever he want. He can do whatever he want, but he sometimes because of some malfunctioning, because of some um, uh, interpretations, he may delete, or he may corrupt your files. Okay, he may delete or corrupt your files, because you and your brother or sister are using same kind of system only, same kind of users only. But if you want to avoid this kind of situation, what you can do is you can create one guest user. You can work as an administrator for your system, but you can create a guest user for your brother or sister. Okay, because you can't buy, some of the middle class families will not afford to buy your laptops for each of them, right? Okay, so there is a simple solution for that is creating guest user account. And you can do any kind of task as an administrator, but if you want but your brother or sister want to do same kind of operations like you, then he need your permissions. Your permission means administrator permissions. Whatever who are the administrator for that account, he wants that administrator permissions to use that system. Okay, then you can log in with your credentials. He or she can log in with their credentials. They and your operating system is your working, and your environments are different, and his working and his or her works are different from your tasks. Okay, then there is no misunderstandings or deleting of files, losing of data. There is no chance to loss of data. Okay, so here I am specifying each one. First one, single user, single tasking. Single user, single task. User, not use here, user. Next one is single user, multitasking. Okay, so I will provide the examples of this also. So the examples of this is MS DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. This is also one of OS, but it will support only, as we discussed in the earlier. MS DOS supports only single user, single tasking. And for this one, single user with multitasking is Example of this is MS Windows. MS Win means Microsoft Windows. So here single user must be a single, but he can do multiple tasks. Multiple tasks. And third one, multi user multitasking. Okay. The examples of this one is Unix or Linux. Mac. Okay. These are the types of OSS. Okay. Next, our next topic is, if you have any doubt regarding this one, you can comment below. I will try to sort it out. And the second thing is server and client. For understanding this, I am opening Word document, fresh page. So here, first one is server and second one is client. For understanding this, I am taking one table. First, I am taking server. Second, I am taking client. This one is client, server and client. Okay. And I am also taking one more table. One more, I mean, one more table for client. Wait, guys. Okay. So here. So first of all, I want to discuss about server. What is a server? Server is used to serve. Server is used to serve. Let's take one real-time example. Like if you are going for a hotel, then in that hotel one server will be there. Okay. So what he is to do, he will take your order and he will serve whatever you want. Okay. He will serve whatever you want. Like that only server is to serve for the client. Okay. Okay. Server serves the services to the client. Okay. And client accept the whatever the server's request is. Okay. Client will accept whatever the server's request is. Okay, so the Windows operating system, Windows was operating system developed some kind of servers. Okay, so the server's name is NT. NT means no technology, no technology 3.0, 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, like that it will generate. Okay, give me a minute, guys. Yeah. So 3.0, 4.0, okay, 3.5. So so NT stands for new technology, a new technology 3.0, 3.5, 4.0, and later it was released in the name of years, not by the numbers. Okay, numbers only, but in the name of years. That is uh, 2000, 2003, 2008, R2, 2012, R2. Okay, next 2016. It was developed on server in 2016 and 2019, and next 2022. Okay, these are the servers which are developed by the Windows operating system. Okay, and the clients are like OS only, operating systems only, like Win95. First it was developed Win95, 95, and then it was developed Win98, and then ME, and then as we know Windows XP, as we know XP, Windows XP. XP means Windows XP, and Windows Vista. Next one, from Windows 7 onwards, most of the people will know, because these are the recent ones only. Recent means not in 3 to 4 years, for so many years back. Windows 7, next Windows 8, next Windows 8.1. So many of the people don't know that 8.1 also there. Okay, they know there were only Windows 8 and Windows 8 10. Okay, next Windows 10, Windows 11. So okay, server is serving the services to the client. So with the which help it will take, server has to take anything, anyone's help to serve his services. Okay, so the server will take help from ports and protocols. Okay, by using ports and protocols, the server will serve. Okay, give me a minute, guys.